The body is a cage, is what we learned throughout all the Pedro Almodovar movies since the 90s, and here it's particularly true. So I wonder, you every time an actor, and especially you, work for a movie and prepare a role, you also work on movements, on the body, how the body acts. For this movie, I suppose it was particularly important.
It was, very. We talk very much about that actually. But it's very specifically about body language. Pedro, during the period of rehearsals, and he loves rehearsals, you know, I mean, there are directors that they hated it, but Pedro is like a month before principal photography. He said to me, Antonio, the character is in drugs, you know, he's using a lot of heroin, cocaine sometimes, you know, so he has to be there, but I don't want to feel it. Okay. And he's in pain. Look at in the way that I got in the taxi. You see how I move, you know, back, migraines, you know, he got a lot of problems. Just when he swallows, you know, he got these moments that he thinks that he's going to die there, but I don't want to feel it. I want you to play Pedro Almodovar, but I don't want to feel it. So he put me in that position of, how am I going to just attack this? So basically, in a way, I think what he was saying, and I think I understood that very early in the process, and probably not in this movie, but even in the skin I live in, is that he wanted me to kill Banderas, take him aside, and start working in completely another direction. Don't use the things that I know that are working for me, the things that I feel comfortable with, because those things are going to take me to a place that is known, and he didn't want to get there. He wanted a fresh, new Banderas. So that is complicated. It's very complicated because you get habituated to just use things that you know that they work for you when you are in trouble, when you have to solve problems acting-wise. And now you don't have those things. Those tools are gone. You are naked in front of the camera and basically searching all the time. Another thing that for me was very important that I used is to understand that there was something in the character that made him almost a witness of his own story. So there is a little detachment, you know, a certain cynical resignation in front of pain, in front of abandon, in front of solitude, you know, that he kind of started looking at some point in the movie from the outside almost. So the things that are happening to him, it's almost like they are happening to a third person, and that allows him in that distance to close circles, to reconciliate himself with his mother, with his boyfriend, with the cinema, with the actors. Because that actor actually is all of us. That actor is not only actors, he's an actress too. Alberto is many. Sometimes I see things that he says that is me. I can see, you know, oh my God, that's I remember saying that. So, you know, it's getting into a world that I knew, but surprisingly, with a new information that I had no idea, because Almodovar, even in our friendship, was always very private and didn't give us everything, you know, about his life.
Usually, a lot of actors with a career as long as yours and with successes as much as you had, they kind of get lazy going on, and it seems for you it's the exact opposite. I understand I have a limited comprehension of the job you do. I mean, I only see the end result, not the process. But would you say that this is the most complicated, difficult, and painful role you ever portrayed?
Probably. I mean, if the description is, you know, when you play somebody who you know, existed, is more complex than a character that is just fiction. Okay, and then you can add to that that character is still alive, so that makes the whole thing a little bit more complicated. But if that character is on top of that directing the movie of himself, the situation becomes a little bit crazy, you know. And knowing Almodovar, you know, he has been always very meticulous and very demanding. I have had in the past confrontations with him on the set that were tough. When we did The Skin I Live In, for example, which I think the beginning of the character that you have seen on the screen started there. Because I arrived there after 22 years in which we didn't work, and I arrived with my backpack filled with 22 years of experience, and I just put it on the table and said, look, Almodovar, this is me now. Look what I have learned. Look the way that I am. I am more secure in front of the camera. Look at my voice has changed. Look at my body language. Look at this, look at that. And he says, I don't care about this. I don't like it. I don't want to use any of these things that you're bringing me, that you are doing with other directors. You have to be for me and new and fresh. What the heck is this? And I confronted him. I said, why he's doing that? Why he's a no to everything that I am doing? Boom! So, but then I saw the movie, and I remember exactly where. I remember in the Toronto Film Festival. And I saw the movie and I was thinking, oh my God, I didn't know I had that character inside. How this man managed to just bring it out. So I started a reflection there that had to do very much with humility. And I thought, oh. So when he sent me this script, I said, oh, this is my opportunity. Now I can go to a place in which I'm going to give him exactly what he needs. So I went to him and I talked to him and said, I called him, I remember, on the phone and said, Pedro, I am a soldier. The only general here is you. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to listen exactly why you want to do this movie and how you want to do this movie. What do you want from me? What do you need from me? I'm zero. I'm going to try to kill Banderas, and we are going to start from there. And let's see where we arrive. And it was the perfect way to attack the character, because we both became, suddenly we were in the same page. So he saw the wheel at the beginning. At the beginning it was just the wheel. But the will was enough for him to start modeling together this, Mm-hmm. And it was so interesting. I've done 130 movies, my friend. Never had an experience like this. And it probably is very difficult that I can repeat something like that, because it was all the nuances that were, related to the creation of this character and this movie in itself. It's very difficult that we can repeat that. It's almost impossible.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.